of the Trump White House approach to international affairs and ask you to critique it. It goes like this. See a problem, spot an opportunity for profit or self-aggrandizement, overpromise, discover the complex problem doesn't respond to shouting and force, change your mind, lose interest. Pick that apart for me.
When you outline that position, I think most recently of the tariff negotiations where it did really seem that this administration created a crisis kind of to its own detriment and then attempted to put forward a solution, which was really just leaving the entire global economy in a worse place. On this particular situation, I do think that this administration is looking for a way to end the war. I do not think that this means that it will end well for Ukraine. I do still think there are, as I mentioned earlier, possible scenarios in which this administration chooses to enact greater costs on Russia. That is not out of the question. But it is also not out of the question that this administration decides it has spent enough money and enough time on this war and decides to pull back assistance for Ukraine. Now, that would serve as a fundamental shift in America's approach to this war over the last 3 years. The United States, Europeans have said continuously, we will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes. To hear Secretary Rubio say, we will address this war for a few more days and then we're done, is a fundamental shift in U.S. policy toward Ukraine. So I am still hopeful that the administration is getting tired with President Putin's excuses and violations of ceasefire negotiations to date. But it also could mean that this administration is taking a step back from supporting Ukraine as well. And that would, of course, put Ukraine in a dire situation.